So what are the latest supply updates for gas stations in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia? Well, according to Gas Buddy, its data is crowdsourced from users. 15% of gas stations in D.C. and in Maryland are seeing fuel outages. In Virginia, that number jumps to 52%, up 30% from this morning. Compare those numbers to 6 hours ago at 1 o'clock. Users were reporting outages at 8% of gas stations in D.C., 9% in Maryland, and 42% in Virginia. Well, what about gas prices? Have they changed since yesterday? Well, according to AAA, prices have definitely shifted. In D.C., gas is up on average 1 cent from yesterday, now at $3.09 per gallon. In Maryland, gas $2.95 a gallon. Again, that's an average across the state. I know in the metro area you're seeing prices higher than that. In Virginia, the Commonwealth up on an average 8 cents, now at $2.87.